Okay, it is now time for our featured poet. Some of you have heard Tom Prince here feature before, or just come up here and spout words. He has been an instigator of problems since I think at least the early 80s, probably since birth. I think in most countries other than our own, you'd be in prison or pushing up daisies in some empty grave. So here, you get to experience Tom Prince in person. Please welcome Tom Prince, and I'll be going around with making giving. Anybody that goes in here will go to him.
Thank you. Let's see about this. This works. That work?
Yeah.
Wowzer. You know, Kirby was talking about orange cats, and you know, I can relate to the orange cats even though I'm not diabetic. I do have the health issue. I gained a bit of weight here. Didn't bring my phone. Get back. I actually had a printout of this and I printed it out at home and forgot it. But it's me in 1987. That's the new again part. I mean, you can't really see it very well. Because it's an annoying device, a phone. But anyway, this is me in 1987. I weighed about 140 pounds, and now I've gained a whole bunch of weight. And you know, it's like it's not a fat-shaming thing. It's not the way I look. It's my health. So I guess I shouldn't have quit cocaine. Anyway. I picked up the harmonica recently.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't have to applaud for that. Thank you. That's 51 years old, that little ditty. I have COPD, so it's not as easy to play these things anymore. But I had to play that. Didn't have a name until 2 days ago when I wrote this hitchhiking from Chicago. And yeah, it was like with my friend Al Bartlett was originally looking for a song that I'd written with him called Magic Mirror. Couldn't find it, unfortunately. And he's long ago died by an accidental gunshot wound in Chicago. But anyway, so I decided to name that Run Kid Run. Anyway, the next thing I would say is I tried to time this to be 31 minutes. So there's no need to applaud between poems, please. You can show me your love at the end. Thank you, people. You know I love you guys, right? Every one of you.
We know.
You do?
Feel too much.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. Yeah, of course I do. Oh yeah. Trying to build a paper house in a world full of flame, all-consuming darkness, like carbon blows away. Freedom lies in dissolution, knowledge lies in sin. Madness calls for full commitment, then construction never ends. That's the name of the book. Okay, now I have to go to this page, all the way in the back. Isn't it smart reading poetry out of order? I meant to find here's a story, an aside, if you will. I used to have a music stand, and I was at a show. It's a pretty big show. A lot of people were there. And there were other people with music stands, and so we all collapsed our music stands and left them backstage. And then when I get home, I grab my music stand and the top that slides into it, and they don't match. And so I'm sure I'm not the only sap that had that problem. And I never did go and replace it, but that would be making this a lot easier, don't you think? Anyway, now I'm doing this. It's my own fault, too, for losing that thing. This was written on July 2nd, 1996. This one has a title called Lost Soul. The Prince of Lost Souls, wandering in the darkness, the void, squandering life amid the earthbound, taking solace in the abyss. The black expanse seems safe as the womb, but it's cold. Oblivious to the hands reaching down, trying to find a grip, grasp the lost one, the lonely one. Can he see the hands of love in the empty black space? Can the warmth permeate the numbness? Do feelings exist in the place where white equals black, like the Arctic expanse? The blood still flows in the lost one's veins, icy, thick, congealed, but still with the vestige of life. The lonely one bleeds. The red drops look black in the absence of light. Tears and sweat from the hand mingle, merge, and blend with the sand-green swamp. The lonely heart still beats. Coagulated fluids still flow. The final darkness, the emptiness of death, escapes him. The calm, quiet peace of the void denied by the demon living within, pecking at his eyes, at his liver daily, pecking at his throat and stifling his voice. He finally looks up at the eyes of the hand, eyes clouded with tears of dismay, tears of frustration. The lost one looks, peers at his reflections, as if seeing himself for the first time, and he knows he must swim in the blood, sweat, and the tears. No longer the martyr, he must not drown in the abyss. Thank you, but please. Like I said, this is a tight set. Silence surround me. Oh, this is April 4th, 1983. Silence surrounds me. Mysteries abound. Knowing no limits, elemental surprise. Turning in search of light in the shadows, looking and listening, there is din in the dark. Stark and ambiguous, empty like space, can't help the feeling the space is my heart. Heart like a black hole, appearing formless, pulled by the denseness, nothing escapes. Images vaguely retained in my mind, memories faded but never erased, obscured but never lost in the shadow. That actually wasn't the one I was going to read. Here we are, The Stone. This is September 17, 1991, The Stone. I can't seem to write about love anymore. The sensation is beyond words. With fear ever present, what if is the destroyer, tearing apart love at the seams. Divine agony, the purest pain, enveloping all, and why? How do I write about love? Something that I am only now just experiencing. How many times have I said that? I am no longer a poet. How could I be when I'm at a loss for words and I just repeat myself over and over? I can no longer express. I can no longer ask questions. And I try to recapture the true meaning of life, of love, to capture the meaning of life, of love. I've been captured myself, caught in a cage, trapped in illusion, forged my own chains. For love, the things I've endured. For what, for why, to the gods I must cry. Creator, Creator, what sort of cruel joke when the heart's worst destroyer seems to be the sole hope. And then it comes, nothing as it was. The world destroyed by fire. Love's passionate lust consumes all that exists. Love's desires, her desire is all that exists. Love's holy light sacred, searing, the brain removes all your sorrow, expunges the pain. Suddenly you're in a brand new world, a fool's paradise, this stone called Earth. Hey, I'm back in order. This one is September 25th, 2014. This is a poem about like old poets that I used to know. I was researching for a project that's still not done. And as I catch my breath, I talk about a tornado. I dance in the eye of a tornado. It doesn't get any higher than this. Undue pressure, breath sucked out, it doesn't get any lower than this. I hear the howling of poets repeating the same verse over and over and over, as if unable to do otherwise, unable to contain the howling wind of their continuous voices. Each different refrain, a cacophony of words, all fraught with deep meaning. I dance to this sound, mesmerized. Swirling around me, I see pages torn from books and shredded by the relentless wind, never to be seen, only to be rumored to have been and gone. As I dance, I reach out, grasping at shards before they are sucked into the stratosphere and beyond, ultimately into outer space. Detritus in the space-time continuum, maybe to strike some wayward future pioneer, wandering aimlessly through piles of broken words and shattered dreams of fame and fortune. Searching for a glimpse of an unknown master, swirling about the storm with the sands of time, ripping at his flesh, I twitch to the beat, the wind pounding a conga left carelessly on the balcony after a neighborhood serenade. Lifted to the sky, it resonates. It's a danceable beat, counterpoint rhythms and multiple booms, blasting my ears with decibel shock. The wind howls. And the voices shout over and over and over, only sometimes in tune. As I spin to the beat of the wild wind spun, I find partners in paintings, in photos of randomized rhymes, some symbols so meaningless except in my mind, or in the searching chaos a sublime glimpse of divine. Spiral tornado vacuums, up goes the house. It falls on no witches, speaking knows what expels. Sirens scream in the background, dark drunk basements of the past now exposed to the light. Reveal others here with me, spinning and twirling. There are no ruby slippers. Gotta have that. I gotta get myself a music stand, or the house needs to get one, because there's nothing like turning your back on the audience, huh? Yeah. Where am I? Oh, this is the one where I name drop. See, this is what I went to the wrong poem before because there was a nice flash. This is the one where I name drop. Some of you might know. 5/26/2014, this is another one inspired by the project that's still in the works. Do Your Job, it's called. Do your job, Tom. Just do your job. These words echo around my hollow skull as I flail about trying to make use of old tools of the trade that no longer serve purpose. Do your job, Tom. Just do your job. I speak with old friends, not seen in months or years. I flail about, not remembering how this communication thing works. I speak with new people and those I once knew, and those people who I once knew, folks that I know only from legend. I only know from legend. Do your job, Tom. Just do your job. Memories lost, forgotten, and buried in a mountain of self-destruction. Shattered fragments of stoned gray matter. I sit on my ass and just wait to die. But I will not continue. I arise and stand up. I will make something happen, refusing death yet. I'll enter the fray of the public milieu. Do your job, Tom. Just do your job. I hear you already, Jesse. Just go back to sleep. That was my name drop. Is that the last one of the book? This one is called Half a Chance. It doesn't have a date on it. It was originally published in the late 80s, I think, in a little book about this big called Bluebird. which was published by Gretchen Armstrong. And I was honored to be in that book, actually. You'd be surprised who was in there. If you ever see one anywhere, in a shop or in somebody's closet or in a box, grab it. But anyway, she let me publish this thing. Or she published it for me. Called Half a Chance. So you actually think we have half a chance, eh? Well, I don't know. We're just a puny little place that happens to have some water. What do you think they would want with us? Speaking of water, I'm thirsty. Could you hand me that vinegar? When was the last time you had a drink of real water? Not very long ago, really. Only about 4 years ago, I reckon. It was even clean. It was runoff from a melting glacier off of Mount Rainier. I heard there might still be trees up there. Do you think that's true? I doubt it. They probably couldn't survive the heat. Anyway, when they hollowed it out, they killed almost everything to avoid contamination. I guess they're all connected now, all the way from Mount Hood to the Sierras. We should have never let them start building. It wasn't our fault, though. The NSA should have told us about the alternative, but they knew the people wouldn't have stood for it. Even if it is a desert, let's take our planet back from the alien bastards. August 13th, 1983. Loaded down with unwanted memories, burdens of the past, the struggle for the future. Fighting back the extrasensory connections with the past, perceptions of the future. Trying to live in times contemporary, destruction of the past, destruction in the future. This was written April 15th, 1989. I call it Citadel just to remember it. Could be called Spires too. April 15th, 1989. The towering spires spew forth their venomous hordes, creatures spitting toxins at writhing gutter things that wait drooling for crumbs, morsels of happiness not theirs to share. Insidious, isn't it? Natural selection at its best. The dominant species, the most deadly creatures, rise to the top of the food chain, inhabiting spires. Meanwhile, so many creatures bound by the food chain, gobbling lesser beings and in turn being eaten, consumed and discarded, or used as mortar to build more spires for the dominant species. Kind of a cross between an ant and a scarab, building mazes that they can't understand. But most importantly, to these creatures at least, most desperately collecting a bunch of shit. A ball and chain binding them to the earth. So much strong, unable to find a path through the dank, dark maze. Ball and ball and ball, it piles up. You'd think that life could grow into 10 feet of topsoil, but no. It is mixed with crushed bone and perspiration. Stale sweat of the gutter things to make bricks and build walls. Torrents of tears streaming down the street. No blue blood in this mud puddle. Only congealed red splats and spineless blobs and broken mammals. Roadkill of the fast lane or creatures fallen from the spires, most likely pushed. The herd's mad dash, stampeding, torrents stream down the street, leave no room for those that pause to reflect. Reflections off the spire, blinding those who dare to look to the top. Never seeing the ants being rolled over and pulverized by the ever-growing fecal ball. A world of their own, putrid and reeking. Wake up and smell the roses, but a flower needs light to grow, and the stench would wilt any flower. The petals drop into the decaying mass on a street corner. The beauty of its leaves becomes indistinguishable from the mire and muck, the festering goo that trickles down from the citadel. Cries rise from the street, screams echo through the maze as the noxious conglomeration flows over bodies, kindly and gently, closing blind eyes to their fate worse than death. Oh, this is going to be fun. I can pull it off. Here I am again in the staircase mold. You know just who I am, or so I'm told. You've been where I've been and you think what I feel. You think you're so good you can judge me. Your Highness won't budge me. You never look below the surface of things. You judge without a basis on facts. You condemn me by the way that I look, but disregard the way that I act. You think you're so good you can judge me. Your Highness won't budge me. If I could, I'd tell you what I think about, but I don't believe you'd even try to understand. If you'd see the world around you honestly, you'd realize you're not really a better man. Here I am again in the staircase mold. You know just who I am, or so I'm told. You've been where I've been and you see what I felt. You think you're so good you can judge me. Your Highness won't budge me. Oh no.
You're a very good poet.
Thank you. I used to be able to sing. That was a long time ago. Many years of tobacco fucked me up. I'm glad there's no kids in the room anymore. Well, yeah, so there you go. If you smoke now, quit that shit. Trust me. Oh yeah, that last one, I actually found the first paragraph, and it was dated, but then I put it away because I didn't have the whole thing. And I went to bed, and it started ruminating in my brain. And so I remembered it, and that was it. Yeah, and it was meant to be a rock song, obviously. And here's another one. This is the last one I'm going to strain my voice with, I think. No, it ain't. Anyway, this is going to be the worst one. This is 9th of May, 1983. You've got a license to kill, but you know better, not any better than the criminals that you're chasing after hides behind your badge. You think you've got the power, but you're gonna fall, and then you're gonna cower. Come the judgment day, we'll all be seen as equals, and you're gonna pay. But who's committed murder? Well, no, it wasn't me. I don't believe in violence. Life should always be free. I'll never let you silence me. Not me, not me, not me. Whew. Anyway, that's supposed to go on with an instrumental after that. The person I wrote playing with this, he's dead. He died of an overdose or something, I think. Don't know for sure, but you know, knowing him, that's the most likely scenario. Oh, here's another one. But this is so you get a feel of what it's supposed to be. I'm from the big city, poor treated like trash. We do desperate things just to get us some cash. And I know shouldn't be this way. Life is not black and white, it is gray. So I'm easing the pain. Done chose me cocaine. It helps numb my brain so I don't go insane. And I know it shouldn't be this way. Life is not black and white, it is gray. Many friends bled. Brother had cancer in head. Though it can be said, they were better off dead. But I know didn't have to be this way. Life is not black and white, it is gray. one here needs introduction. Now, this is September 3rd, 1985. Those who know your history are going to see there's a really hardcore sarcastic statement in here. And those who know me are not going to take offense by the words. This is an ode to Nina Hagen. There must be somebody out there. Come on in, I'm open. Someone to watch the saucers. The sky out there calls me and says, come on in, I'm open. The sadness I feel all around me permeates my being. All things pass through me, to quote Walt Whitman, that poor self-persecuted faggot. At least he didn't have to watch the sick society destroy itself and anything that stood in the way of the evil ends. Such a joke. Communism can't work without good Christian charitability, yet these people that call themselves Christian or communist are persecuting each other, and me. I share everything, money, love, etc. Does that make me a godless communist or a charitable Christian, or just a plain fool, as someone would have it? I don't know. All I feel is yours, all of yours. I wish you would take it. I wish you would take me away in a saucer. The history part. Walt Whitman worked in a medical facility during the Civil War. Yeah, so that was a comment, sarcastic comment, obviously. In case you didn't know that. Most people here are educated, I assume, but just in case. And yeah, I've had beads of grass since I was a wee little child. And I have a complete work somewhere. What's next? Oh, getting near the end now. Oh yeah. I don't know what to call this. I don't remember the year, but due to the iconography, I figure it's the late 80s. I stand up slowly after giving another offering to the porcelain god. As I stagger, the world starts to spin. I think to myself, this must be what it's like to be a god. I decide to reach out and touch the white light I see in front of my eyes. Suddenly, I see a strange-looking creature. I, of course, am startled, so I ask, are you also a god? My equal or some squirmy demon? The sky blue being looks at me and laughs. He says, I should go with him. Now, I figured I'd find out if I was dead or not. I assumed, of course, this was an angel. Oops, how wrong can you be? I said to myself as it shows me a TV. Then it asked while I watched, Leave It to Beaver, what, may I ask, is the meaning of this? I'm terrified because I never understood myself. Hey, Squirt, says Eddie, and the being who I decide is an alien says, explain yourself, God. I know now I'm in deep space as well as deep shit, and I wonder if my head's still in the toilet. Then say the only thing I can think of, it's a squirting universe. Them's fighting words, says the oozing alien. Holy shit, holy war, I think to myself. And the aliens eject the television into deep space. Deep shit, I realize, deep shit, I scream. And I wake up, cold sweating, and I hear those dreaded words, wake up, it's time to go to work. Ooh, here's the last one. The very, very last one. And I'm ahead of myself, look at that. Timey-wimey poem. This was just recent. November 26, 2024 is when I started it. Water, water everywhere. Nor any drop to drink. I love that guy. My life comes to fruition only hindered by my disposition, or not truly knowing my mission, nor getting past my inhibition. Overwhelmed by such emotion, I refuse to grant submission. I am in no permission to offer pretentious contrition, or for living my own fiction while enjoying my elation. I expect no ovation, for writing silly rhymes. Thank y'all.